I'm gonna give everybody, let's see, there's still some people in the waiting room. I'm gonna give everybody just a couple of minutes to settle in and get connected to audio. I know that when I start right at 7, you guys sometimes miss the first little bit. So I'm just gonna give it just a couple more minutes because I know that connecting to audio can take a little while. And Erin, has the waiting room been turned off?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody to the November PMQG meeting, and I'd like to remind you all to mute your audio and turn off your video, and we do have closed captioning available. If you're having trouble accessing the closed captioning, please send Erin a message via the chat. You can just send her a private message and she can assist you with that. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, Modern Domestic, Bolt Neighborhood Fabric Boutique, Aloha Sewing and Vacuum, and Montevilla Sewing Centers. And we're going to start our evening with a programs preview of what's coming up in December. And I want to remind everybody to stick around after Carolina's presentation because we will be, after that, previewing what we have in store for you for the beginning of next year, which is all really exciting. And you definitely don't want to miss it. So Deborah will be joining us on December 9th. So our meeting is actually 2 weeks from now at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And she will be offering her workshop, Head, Heart, and Hands, Developing Your Creative Voice. The workshop is on sale now, and it is open to members as well as non-members. And there are still a few spots left if you're interested. So be sure to check out the shop on the PMQG website to register for that. And we do have Deborah here tonight to give us a little preview of her class and her presentation. And I'm going to stop my share so that she can share with us what she has coming up.
Thanks, Chris. I'm so delighted to be with you all here tonight in November with a little bit of a preview of my visit with you all next month. I'm Deborah Boschert. I'm an art quilter. I live in Lewisville, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. And as Chris mentioned, I'm going to be giving, actually I have some slides, so I'm going to go ahead and just open those slides so that you have some visuals to look at while I'm giving you a little bit of a preview. So this is me, Deborah Boschert. Like I said, I am an art quilter, and I have just a few images of my work to share with you to give you a little taste of who I am and what I do. My work is all about layering fabric, paint, and stitching. All of my work is raw edge fused applique. And I also really like incorporating personal symbols in my work that sort of suggest a narrative. Ladders are a symbol that have been showing up in my work a lot lately. A lot of thinking about what it means to get from one place to another. I also really love abstracted sort of contemporary landscapes. So here's an example of that part of my body of work. This is Daybreak. Again, all about layering, fabric, paint, and stitching. So as you heard, I'll be with you on Thursday, December 9th. Only 2 weeks from today. Can you believe that we're almost to December? And I will be giving my presentation called Captivating Compositions, which are based on these 8 design guides that I actually developed for my book, Art Quilt Collage, A Creative Journey in Fabric, Paint, and Stitch. And I really wanted to give readers an accessible way to think about design and composition. So I'm going to be showing you lots of examples of art quilts, modern quilts, traditional quilts, and I'm going to pull some examples from the world of fine art so that we can look at those 8 design guides and think about how you might use them to create your own original work. So that's the lecture on the 9th. And then I will have the Developing Your Creative Voice workshop on Sunday, December 12th. It's a 3-hour workshop, and it's really all about asking questions, considering new ideas, getting inspired, having conversation, all around this idea of what I like to call head, heart, and hands. There's actually a video trailer of this workshop on your website. So if you go to the shop page on your website, you can play a little 4-minute description of this workshop. So this idea of developing your creative voice is a question that artists ask all the time. New artists, experienced artists, it runs the gamut. And as I thought about that question, I really came to the conclusion that you really want to maximize what's going on in your head, the ideas or themes that you're interested in exploring in your work, what's going on in your heart, the things that really get you excited about the process, and then what's going on in your hands, or the actual techniques and skills that you are interested in mastering. So we're going to go through some exercises. I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to share some ideas from other experts in the field of creativity. And then I'm going to give you some suggested action items that you might take into your own personal creative life. So that is the Developing Your Creative Voice workshop. Really, all you need is pen and paper. Like they said, there are spots available, so you can find all the info for that on your PMQG website. And then this is me again, and I'm actually going to put in the chat another link that will take you to my website where you can find more information about my work and my workshops and other info about where you can learn about me and what I do. So that's it. That is an overview of what I will be sharing with you in more detail in December.
Thank you, Deborah.
My pleasure.
I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong one. One moment. There are two different screens going on and I have the wrong one shared. Okay, that's the right one. Okay, so with that, I would like to welcome our Programs for Meetings, Susan Beal, and she is going to give us an introduction of our featured speaker tonight. So Susan.
Thank you, Chris. I've been looking forward to this for several months, and it's so nice that we're finally here. We're so happy to have you with us, Carolina. For those who haven't seen her work yet, Carolina Aneto was born in Chile and now lives in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but teaches and exhibits her stunning modern quilts all over the world. She transitioned from her first career as an industrial civil engineer to teaching when the first of her 3 children was born, so she could spend more time with family. When they moved from Santiago to Buenos Aires, Argentina, 10 years ago, she began studying patchwork quilting with remarkable Argentinian quilters, learning many new techniques and transforming and expanding her creativity. Now based in Brazil, she's a prolific teacher, a Janome maker for Janome America, a wonderful thread specialist, and has attended QuiltCon many times. She's been teaching quilting for the last 6 years, and since 2020, pivoted as many of us did, now expanding her work to teach online to many quilters and quilt guilds, offering colorful inspiration and connection in this often very isolating and lonely time for all of us. We're so glad to have her teaching her amazing organic shapes workshop this Sunday. It is sold out, so if you weren't able to take it this week live with PMQG friends, she offers on-demand quilting classes. So you can watch these at your own pace, once, twice, or as many times as you like. And these include topics like cutting and piecing curves, improv quilting, color theory, how to use color value, and many other techniques that you can add to your quilting skill set. If you're more excited about live classes, she teaches several each month for many guilds and venues. Just check her website, which thank you so much to Ann Jenkins for posting links in the chat as quickly as I can add them. It's really nice having these options, Carolina, because With only 20 spots and a guild of 350 people, we're just happy to be able to share the other amazing work that you're doing. One of the things I was the most drawn to in Carolina's voice and work is how welcoming and celebratory she is in sharing other quilters and artists' visual work and going deeper into their own stories. In her Modern Quilters Showcase post on her own website and featured on her beautiful Instagram page. Each week she spotlights artists she enjoys, and the warmth and kindness she offers is so engaging. It's a generous and uplifting lens and really speaks to PMQG's own values of inclusion, accessibility, and serving our members and connecting with love and gratitude. We are so happy to welcome our second International Speaker of the Year, a year like no other. Please join me in welcoming Carolina Onito.
My connection was lost and I didn't realize.
Sorry that the robot just cut you off there too. No, thanks for rejoining us. I think we're just going to take just a few questions, just because it is getting late. It's very late for you, Carolina, but it's also getting late here. And when I was looking through the chat, I saw that there was a question from somebody, and I think it was specifically talking about your watercolor quilt and asking how is that pieced? Because there were about, you know, that it didn't look like there was rows and.
It's a complex process. It's about creating sections and panels, but it's just piecing just straight seams, not Y seams or complex seams. And I teach that process in one of my workshops. So that is.
Yeah, I actually took your workshop last week with that quilt, and it was amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
sometimes I don't know. I see many faces, so that's great.
Do we have any more questions? Oh, let's see. Here. I'm not really seeing any more questions coming in. Oh, here we go.
Use software.
Yeah, do you use software to plan your color compositions?
Okay, no. In some moment I use EQ8, but my most favorite, when I plan my colors, I use paper, pencils, and maybe later on EQ8, I can change in a most fast way, right? But when I'm more in an improv quilt, it's just playing with my design wall, not any software at all. And I saw a question about my stash. Yes. I just buy fat quarters from all the different producers that I have found. So in that way, I can have many values and saturation and different colors in my stash. And this quilt, it's called 1 in every 4.
This will be the last question for tonight. Do you only work with solid fabrics, or do you work with prints as well?
Just solids. Sometimes maybe a fabric that it's printed, but looks like a solid, right?
Yeah.
A monochromatic printed fabric.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Carolina. And we're all looking forward to your workshop this weekend.
Yeah, see you on Sunday, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It was great to be with you here, okay?
Okay.
And thank you for the invitation.
Oh, yes, thanks for coming. Okay. Okay, I am going to start my share. Okay, before we jump back into programs, I just quickly wanted to introduce the 2022 PMQG board. For president, we will be welcoming in Sarah Flynn. Vice President, Membership and Procurement will be Marcy McFarlane. Vice President, Technology and Social Media, Chris Marchini-Nippert. Secretary, Nadia Soko. Treasurer, Ann Nelson. Program Coordinator for meetings will be Marika Zimmerly-Beck. And Program Coordinator for workshops will be Allison Evans. And we are all very happy and thankful to be welcoming a brand new board in 2022. And then I quickly wanted to talk about the 2022 ballot bylaw amendment. And basically this was an amendment to our bylaw 5.3, which states that an officer may be removed with or without cause at a meeting called for that purpose by a vote of the majority of the members. And we have voted to rewrite that bylaw to make it a little bit more clear and to actually put a process in place to remove an officer. And this passed with 97% of those of you voting in favor for this amendment. And you can read more about the new bylaw amendment in the members only section. I believe there's a link to it there. There's also a link to the vote of confidence, no confidence procedure, as well as a link to the PMQG grievance policy. Okay, Susan, I would like to welcome you back to talk about 2022 programs.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm going to quickly repeat just because we're recording this part, and I would love for anyone who didn't attend live to just hear what we're the most excited about for next year. I just wanted to quickly mention that I've been programs for meetings for 2021 working with Carol Subert and Michelle Fitzgerald, who have shared the workshops position. And we're thrilled to welcome Marika Zimmerly-Beck, who will be programs for meetings next year, and Allison Evans, who you may know from her spectacular work in the Fabric Fundraiser, and she'll be doing workshops. We're very excited for what we're bringing early next year, hoping to bring lots and lots of membership renewals so that you'll be able to enjoy these programs. And all of these that I'm sharing have live pages on the PMQG website, thanks to our fantastic social media and tech lead, Erin Case. So for January, we are welcoming a wonderful speaker, Varushka Zarate of Pride and Joy. If you know her incredible portraits, she'll be speaking to us in January at our regular meeting, and she'll just be lecturing, not giving a workshop, but it will be an incredible evening, and we hope that we'll see you there. February is Amy Friend of During Quiet Time, and she'll be offering a lecture. Please note that the February meeting will be 1 week early. We don't need to get into the exact date, so all be on our website and all shared out in our newsletter. But because of QuiltCon, our February meeting will be the second Thursday of February, and then her workshop will be that following weekend. Amy is incredible, so talented, and will be teaching a beautiful paper piecing technique, as well as sharing her incredible work as a trunk show for her lecture. And then March is coming soon. We're at the contract stage with someone that PMQG is very close with, and a lovely, wonderful presenter who you'll be very excited for. April, we are welcoming Daisy Oshahog of Wormfolk. She'll be another international presenter coming to us from Scandinavia, and she'll also be teaching as well as lecturing. So we're really looking forward to that. And you can see one of her incredible designs right behind her in the photo. And then May, if any of you attended our September 2020 meeting virtually, or were able to watch the conversation later, we're hosting Ruby Star Society again. Melody Miller, Kim Kite, Rashida Coleman Hale, and Sarah Watts will be joining us. We're really sad that Alexia Begg can't make this evening, but the other 4 superstars of Ruby Star Society will be with us at PMQG again. It will be a similar and kind of free form and engaging and exciting conversation between the 4 of them. And they'll be able to share their new fabric lines, what they're working on, and all kinds of beautiful peeks For anyone who regularly attended Quilt Market back in the pre-COVID days, this will be kind of a nice way for us to celebrate some of the fabric lines I'm sure a lot of us will be the most excited about. And they won't be teaching, but they will be speaking. And I just want to quickly share that this event will take place at 5 p.m. Pacific, and it will be recorded and available to PMQG members only for 1 week on YouTube. So if you're not able to make it live, you will get to watch it later. But I hope you get to attend it live, because then you can ask them whatever your most burning Ruby Star questions are. So that's just the first 4 of the first months of the year. Our amazing 2022 board will be creating content for some of the other months. We wanted to really send them off with a wonderful programming start. And then Allison, Marika, and the rest of the board will work collaboratively to create incredible programming for the rest of the year. We have a couple more at the contract stages later in the year, and there's lots of months that they'll be announcing as they go, and we're all just really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Susan. And I just wanted to just take a moment to thank our programs team, both this year and next year. We're all working together to bring everybody some great programming. So thank you, everybody. So 2022 memberships are going to be on sale on November 22nd, which is Monday. Look for it in the newsletter that will also go out on Monday. I'm sure that there will be a link there, but it will also be a shop item on our website. We are not raising dues this year or next year, so it will still be the $45 for the PMQG only membership and $12 for the MQG add-on. So if you're a newer member, you might not realize how we run our membership. It's kind of, you get to opt in to MQG for an additional $12. But if you are a member of a different modern quilt guild, like maybe you're not local to Portland, your MQG membership is probably charged in your dues with whoever your other guild is. So you'll want to make sure to only sign up for PMQG only. And then if you are local to Portland and would like to add on the MQG, that is still only $12. There will be member scholarships available, and you'll be able to sign up for those starting November 22nd. And the scholarship deadline is December 15th. And you will see more information about that in the upcoming newsletter. And we are still looking for volunteers for our elections and ethics committee. We haven't really had anybody reach out to volunteer. This is a really important committee that we need to form. It will probably not be very much work at all. And it would be a lot of fun. Michelle Friedman is the chair of this committee, and she's lovely, and you'll get to know her and help out with the guild. So please, if you are interested, you don't need to be a local member, just email the guild and say, you know, I would like more information, and we can connect you with Michelle. And Angel, our wonderful treasurer, are you here tonight?
I am here.
Hi.
So this is the month where I estimate how the guild is doing for the year. And we are doing well. We still have a healthy bank account. We as a board decided to up our programs for meetings budget, and also to price our workshops to be very affordable to our members. So we may take we might go a little in the red this year. It all depends on how many people re-up for membership before the end of the year will dictate that. But the pie chart shows that we're spending almost 50% of our money on programs and workshops this year, with money also going to our library, supporting the quilts going to sisters. The guild covered the fees for everybody who joined our special exhibit. Our charity quilt and bag sewing program, our open sew day. We spend about 10% of our incoming money to MQG, but we are not subsidizing that $12 that we charge you. covers what we have to pay MQG, which is why we didn't have to raise fees this year. And then we have overhead and other expenses. I'm always happy to answer questions about our budget and our spending. You can ask now or email the guild and ask if you're wondering why something is what it is.
Thank you, Angel. Just so you all know, I can't really see the chat right now because my screen is taken up by my presentation. So if Erin or Susan or Anne could watch the chat and let me know if there's any questions that come up, that would be great.
Chris, this is Susan, and I did just see a question. Thank you so much for asking. Sue Holmes just asked, Angel, if you could describe what overhead, like a few words about what overhead means, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Sure. So our overhead covers all of our bank fees that we have to pay for running credit cards on our account, our insurance, our taxes, what we pay Zoom to host us, what we pay our website host. In the past, it's also included what we've paid to host a meeting at a physical site. So, you know, in 2023, the Zoom expenses will most likely go away, and that those funds will shift to meeting space expenses. We also pay things like, you know, shipping and envelopes and just minor little things like that. But the majority of it is like insurance, credit card expenses or credit card fees, and things like that.
Thank you, Angel. And yeah, always feel free to email the guild with any questions as well. Okay. So PMQG T-shirts are currently on sale. So how this is working is we are partnering with Gail Weiss of Phantom Chicken, and she and her husband own a small company where they print T-shirts, and basically they print them to order. So that's why we don't carry an inventory. This actually ends up being quite reasonable, and we were able to pass the savings along to you. All T-shirts, no matter the style, are $25, and the sweatshirt is $35. And if you go to the shop, you will be able to read more information about the sizing. If you click on the style of shirt, if you scroll all the way down, Gail has put together a really nice graphic of what sizes look like. She's also included her contact information to make sure that people get the correct size. And we are shipping to Canada. We're also offering, you know, US shipping, or Gail is willing to do pickup from her studio. And the dates and times are listed on the website as far as when they will be ready. And just a reminder that pre-orders are only open until the 27th. After the 27th, you'll no longer be able to get a shirt until we decide to make shirts again. So the last time shirts were done was in 2019, so a little while. So if you're wanting a shirt, please take a look at the shop. And also I wanted to mention that we do have a scholarship available for a shirt, not for the hoodie, but for a shirt, the style of your choosing. So if you would really like a shirt, but it's just not in the budget, we understand that this time of year especially can be kind of hard financially. And we want to make sure that if you really want one, that we can help you to get one. So look for the scholarship, and all of that information will be in the newsletter that will be emailed on Monday. Okay, so Susan or Kimberly, did you want to talk about DEIA?
Yes, thank you so much, Chris. I'm going to speak representing Kimberly, who's our visionary DEIA leader. I'm very honored to co-chair DEIA with her. We would love to share the date and info on the DEIA education event, which will be coming up January 12th, 2022. It will be a 90-minute open time for all of us to learn together. It's open to up to 50 members, and we would absolutely love to have you join us. We really think this will be a positive and healing and educational and growth opportunity for all of us to work together. And I think what will be really incredible is the Construct the Present is a wonderful organization based here in Portland. It's a Black and women owned and founded consulting organization who lead trainings with Multnomah County Library, companies of all kinds, and nonprofits and other groups like ours. They've advised us that in order, yes, thank you, Kimberly, let's grow together. They've advised us that the best way to organize this is to make it really affordable and accessible, and we will have scholarships available if this is a hardship. We're charging a $5 fee just so that everyone who registers has like the date and the time and the registration email, and it's really available and clear. And then everyone who attends will receive a $5 discount code for future PMQG events or shop items. So it's really something we wanted to make as absolutely accessible as possible. And it will be open for December 1st. And the capacity, as I mentioned, is 50 members. We'll share more at the December meeting, monthly meeting, and how many spaces are left. But we would love to have you sign up as soon as possible if you're interested and available. Our hope is to fill this event completely and be able to offer a second for folks who haven't been able to join this particular date or couldn't get in time. So the more interest we have, the more we'll be able to offer this kind of programming. And then our next DIA meeting, which thank you so much in the chat, Anne, for sharing the what the acronym stands for. It is diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. A small group or committee where we work together to learn and create change within our guild and really be leaders within the modern quilt guilds of our country and our globally, our community. We work towards anti-racism, and we work towards understanding our world better so that we can really make our guild stronger and better and really learn and speak together. So we hope that anyone who's interested in learning and growing together and doing the work, we warmly welcome you to our next DIA meeting. It will be a little early this month because of our early monthly meeting in December. Holidays get in the way, so we'll be meeting on Wednesday, December 8th at 6 p.m. Pacific. It is on Zoom. All the information is on the members only page of our website. And thank you to our VP for Technology and Social Media, Erin Case, for creating a DIA webpage for us this month, which will only grow. And our 2022 social media lead, Chris Marchini-Nippert, is going to engage with us in creating more and more visuals and content to share what we're doing and invite others to join. So thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
I also have a few very quick guild updates to share. As Chris mentioned, our bylaw passed overwhelmingly at a 97% yes. Just clarifying and strengthening how, in the event that an officer needs to be removed, there is a clear process and an honest, ethical, and transparent process. Last month, we mentioned our social media policy. It was getting fine-tuned after working very closely with MQG's DEI committee co-chairs, who are incredible leaders in just what their work is globally. The social media policy is available on our members only page. Thank you so much to our board member, Carol Subert, for her incredible work on really growing this and making what I think collaboratively all 8 of us put together is just really protective to not just board volunteers who may be on, just creating social media posts or sharing out publicly, but also our members, our teachers and speakers, and everyone who uses our digital space. I invite you to visit it at your, when you get a chance. It's on our members only page, linked in full, and we really appreciate the opportunity to create more of these really helpful and hopefully very positive steps forward to really strengthen what we're doing. We started as this homegrown group of 30 quilters meeting in a community center in March of 2010, who all connected on Flickr. And now we're over 10 times that many members and doing incredible work in the world. So we're happy to have you with us, and we want to just do the best we can to pass strong and important and positive just guidelines and tools on to next year's board. Our confidentiality agreement, also thank you so much to Carol for her hard work on that. All board members this current year and forward will be signing and adhering to that. We're already working this way, but it just really clarifies and puts everything out. It's just so all members can feel confident that personal information, financial details, and anything else sensitive will not ever be shared or abused by board members who you put your trust in when you elect. We've also researched, thanks to Michelle Fitzgerald, my workshops counterpart with Carol. She found a contact who was able to offer us directors and officers insurance. This protects board volunteers and the guild if something arises, like a difficult legal or damaging issue. Board volunteers' personal finances and assets won't be at risk. This is so important because many nonprofits have had this for years, but we've grown the way we've grown, and we really want to protect next year's board and onward in a way that, you know, was really difficult this year. So we've created that program, and the 2022 board has opted into it. So that will be something that will really, I think, benefit everyone. And we will also be focusing on inclusion and accessibility for meetings. We'll continue to stay 100% virtual. Thank you to someone who asked earlier. In 2022 by an overwhelming vote by our entire membership, and likely will be at some version of in-person and or virtual in 2023, again, based on a membership vote. And I just saw a question from Amy in the chat just quickly. The social media policy is something that, based on the MQG's DEI committee recommendations, we created as a unanimous board policy. And it's not something that members vote on that's as strictly structured as a bylaw, because it needs to be agile and flexible. If a new social media platform arises that another issue comes up with, the board needs to be able to update it, but it is an incredibly specific to how members and volunteers and speakers and teachers can use our space to just really protect each other and do the best we can. So it can possibly change as often as it needs to, but I feel like the version that we created is a great start, and I look forward to seeing how our guild grows with it. So next slide is a fun one. Renee, if you're here, I know Allison couldn't join us. I just want to deeply thank Renee Pipe, who's our VP for Procurement and Membership, and Allison Evans, who is our incoming programs coordinator for workshops, for partnering with me on the Fabric fundraiser. Thanks to our incredibly generous donors and our winners, we raised $3,300 for Cures Northwest Outside In and our first international organization, the Handmade Collective. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. It was wonderful, and we look forward to doing it again next year with different organizations to benefit. So I just deeply appreciate everyone who made this such an incredible success. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, so just a couple of announcements. Charity Sew drop off and pickup is on Saturday, November 20th. So this weekend from 10 to 1. You can find the address on the members section of the website. If you are interested in sewing for charity, there are block kits available, binding, quilts for quilting, and basically quilts in every single stage of the process. So whatever you like to do, stop by and pick something up. And the quilts go to the Dornbecker Pmq. And Erin is going to talk about, Erin, our Vice President of Social Media and Technology, will be talking to us about the 2022 Sisters theme.
All right. Hello, everybody. So we have, this is going to be the first of 2 polls tonight. I'm going to launch it so you can start voting now if you'd like. We put a call out to the board members about some topics for the Sisters theme next year. This is a special exhibit that we have every year at Sisters, and we give you all this theme, and then you make a quilt based on that. And so some of these themes are pretty self-explanatory: animals and negative space. Game night, that's where you can draw inspiration from your favorite like board game or a card game and create a quilt based on that. Improvisation is also pretty self-explanatory. The Guild Color Challenge is to use the Guild colors of that kind of blue that you see there, the lime green, the hot pink, and then black and white. Song title, again, that's sort of self-explanatory, where you find your favorite song and you can create a quilt based on that. Small piecing, pretty self-explanatory as well. You can use that as an element. We don't expect you to make a full bed-sized quilt using small piecing. Another one is using the historic PMQG block of the months. So you can, they're all located on our website. You can find those and then get inspiration from that one. Einstein is another one that's getting really popular this year. And then Art Deco is our final theme. And so it looks like only about half of you responded so far. So I'm going to let this keep going. And then once we've decided on a theme, I will publish the results so we can find that out tonight.
Okay. So do we want to just give it a few more seconds, or do you want to announce right now?
Why don't you speak for the next slide, and then I will end it at the end of the next slide.
Got it. Okay, so charity zipper bags. This program is still up and running. There are kits available. All you need to do is, there's an address in the members only section, and you can just text before coming. It's usually, they're usually available on Mondays. And this is a program that benefits the Portland Homeless Family Solution. So basically, PMQG members make zipper bags using these kits. And then those zipper bags are filled with personal care items that go to Portland Homeless Family Solutions for people in need. Let's see. Quilter Filter is on December 2nd from 6 to 7 p.m. On Zoom. This is a great way to meet in a small group, and it always starts with a theme, but then often, dissolves into other quilty conversation. And it's a great way to get to know your fellow guild members. And the theme for this month is holiday quilts or quilting projects. And this is, Jenny wrote up a little thing about this because she's our Quilter Filter lead. So not just winter holidays, but really any holiday throughout the year. Do you make these quilts? And are they fun for you, or do you just completely not make them? Okay, Erin, what is the result?
The result of the Sisters theme is song title with 33% of the vote.
Great. So our theme for next year for Sisters will be song title, and that will also be in the newsletter. Thanks. And Jenny, are you here? Did you want to talk about our Let It Sew, Let It Sew, Let It Sew tonight?
Chris,
I'm here.
Hi.
Chris, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a couple of questions in the chat about
Okay.
the charity thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't see the chat right now, so if somebody could read them to me, that'd be great. Renee, could you read the questions to me, because I can't see the chat? I think you're muted, Renee.
So there's, is the OHSU PICU always the forever recipient of the charity quilts, or does it change over time? This should be something we should discuss as soon as possible. And the next thing is, I think there should be a conversation about the PMQG charity program in general to make sure it fits the Guild guidelines and values, other than the aspect of Guild programming that it fits with. There are three different people that's.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you, Renee, for reading those questions to me. And I'm really sorry that I can't see the chat right now. Yes, that is something that is currently being discussed. And we opened up that discussion during the last DEIA meeting. And I believe that more information will be following that. I know that our lead for Charity Sew, Kath Hall, has chosen the Pmq, and also we have quilts that go to Camp Erin, which are basically Camp Erin is a camp for kids that have lost a family member, and also to a hospice center. And the reason why Kath has chosen those places to donate is that those are non-polarizing locations or non-polarizing groups. Basically, she wanted to donate, or the guild wanted to donate, really, because we backed her up. The guild wanted to donate to groups that everybody would feel good about donating to. So not political groups, not, things like that. So, but this is definitely open for conversation. And it's a great place to have a conversation about this at the DEIA meeting. And we are definitely talking about this some more. So if you are interested, please join us at the next DEIA meeting. Okay. I hope that was all. And I'm really sorry that I can't see the chat right now. Yes, Kimberly. I see your
Hey,
hand.
Chris. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know this has come up, and this has come up in years past, regarding the charity program. I would just say, if you have recommendations, if you have suggestions, email the guild. Don't feel shut down, but email the guild with any ideas, and let's just, kind of take it in. And like you said, we can discuss it in the DEIA meeting or in the overall board meetings going forward.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Okay. Jenny, back to you. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. It's a interesting topic. So back to let us sew. It's just a free virtual open sewing weekend. The idea is to drop in, talk, get together, just to have some contact in this busy run up to a busy season. And we'll open it up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I will. Roseanne will take the late shift because I'll go to bed. Around 5 o'clock on Saturday evening, it is the near the end of Hanukkah, and Michelle Friedman has invited us to join her family for some of their Hanukkah festivities. And so she'll drop in and we'll do that. And it's just, we just invite you to, since we can't get together in person very much for open sew weekends and sewing together, we wanted to create a weekend to get together and do that. If you have any questions, you can get to us through the guild or DM either Roseanne or I on Instagram.
Thanks, Jenny. It should be a fun time, and just, a really relaxed way to get to know some of your other members and to work on projects. So thank you.
Here, everybody wants to get free advice if you're having a problem. So. I get lots of it from others. My FPP has grown by leaps and bounds thanks to my virtual group.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so this is the second of our polls that will be launched tonight. Our QuiltCon community outreach quilt has been submitted. However, we need a name. So we had asked members to write in suggestions for names, and Erin has put them together in a poll. And you can see those on your screen right now. So please vote for a name, and we can update our entry for QuiltCon. Okay, so I'm going to move on while you are voting, and then after the next slide, I'll ask Erin what the results were. Okay, so the November block of the month is basically, we asked Tara Evans if she would design the block of the month this year for us, and she designed Mother. And each block represents a different, basically a different thing that's happening to the earth. It all revolves around Mother Earth. And if Tara is here, she can speak about her block a lot more eloquently than I can. So did anybody see if Tara was here tonight? I think that she's not. So
It does not appear that she is.
okay. So this block is all it has to do about housing, and she specifically made this block to represent a house that's unattainable because it has no windows or doors. And she did this to represent how hard it is to gain adequate housing for a large portion of the world's population. And before we get to the results of the poll, I just wanted to remind people that if you've been participating in the block of the month, you're going to want to post some photos of what your blocks look like using the hashtags that are mentioned below. And we will be offering a prize to a lucky participant, and you don't want to miss out on that. And we will be awarding that at the December meeting. So Erin, what are the results of the QuiltCon Community Outreach name?
With 34% of the vote, it looks like Pivot, Pivot, Pivot will be the name.
Great. Thank you. Thanks everybody for voting. Okay, so Ann Jenkins, our secretary, is going to lead show and tell tonight. So if Ann's here. And I just want to thank Ann really quick for putting all of the links in the chat.
Oh,
there you are. Hi.
Gonna let Marjorie know that she is first. If she's here.
I'm here. I got a quilt from the free table at some point a few months ago, and it was not done, abandoned, in kind of bad shape. And I kind of liked the colors, although it's not colors that I really use very often. So I dismantled the whole thing and cobbled it back together with many little seams and some of those blocks. And then Chris Batten quilted it for me and turned the little ugly duckling into kind of an okay quilt. So I'm going to donate it, and I hope that somebody likes it.
Lovely. Michelle is next. I didn't see her in the list of participants.
Nope, but I have her information that she submitted in the show and tell form. She said that she designed this quilt to battle the wall of awful, which is when you get to that point in a project and are just not motivated to finish. She felt like this was the perfect antidote to a wall of awful was magic waffle, because who doesn't love waffles? And created this as a quick stash busting project. She's writing the pattern and it's taking forever, but she's okay with that. And then she said her dad made this funny photo of her sister holding the quilt. It just cracks her up.
I believe this is her new fabric line. Is that right?
Yes, I do believe so.
Yep.
And a free pattern maybe as well. I'm going to try to find that link too. Right.
This one's not actually a free pattern. This
Okay.
just because I worked with Michelle on this one. This is a pattern that she's writing for herself that she is going to self-publish.
Perfect.
I think she's hoping that it'll come out in December.
Awesome. And Roseanne is next.
Hi, I call this Not a Lone Star. I took a class from Alvera Gaskins to Clark County Quilters at the end of January, and I wanted to be a little different, so I put a modern twist on it. First, I split the star and I reversed the colors and from the center to the tip. And then to fit my queen bed, I added the borders. Not wanting to be plain, I made 2 more star sizes, and the centers are 2.5 inch, and the corners are 1 inch, and the small ones on the side are 1/2 inch. And Alvera did an edge-to-edge quilting on it. This one is my ribbon and hoops. I took that class from Jenny Haynes of Pepper Saxton through PMQG last year, and I finished the project. It's queen size, And I used a combination of both of her patterns. I started the domestic quilting on the colored area, and I needed it to get it done in time for Quilt Fest Northwest show. So Alvera Gaskin used her long arm and did a free motion in the black area in the background. And I want to thank PMQG for hosting the class. It was exactly what I needed to pull me out of the pandemic funk last year.
Perfect.
Hi, that's mine. So this is the Exploring Curves pattern by Audrey Essery that she taught for the Guild last weekend. Yes, that is right. Impossibly, I just finished it and quilted it and took it on a photo shoot with Terry Torkey. So it was a great class. She taught us how to draft curves, how to sew them precisely. And I didn't worry too much about like which colors should actually be where according to the transparency. I just wanted a color palette that was pleasing to my eye. And I think the finished size is about 23 squares, something like that. That's it.
Great, thank you. And
Hi, this is my 14 squared quilt, and it's a pattern by Sam Hunter, and it was strongly influenced by Kat's series of single color fussy cut, but I love color, so I did a rainbow of all the colors, and I used the original cotton and steel black and white collection with some other old cotton and steel and Ruby Star. And it is with Kazumi, hopefully being quilted in the near future. Thanks.
love a rainbow, very nice. And
Hi, yeah, this is a quilt. This was the first quilt top that I made during the pandemic, and I was initially calling it social distancing, but it was meant as a gift for my brother and his wife, and there's rarely any distance between them, so I stopped calling it that. I didn't use a pattern. I wanted to let these Aboriginal fabrics sing, so I just did 10-inch squares with a 2-inch sashing and some cornerstones. But I usually use really, really bright fabric, so this was actually very conservative for me, and I really had a lot of fun doing it.
Sarah's next.
Thanks. I made this quilt last weekend at a sew day with friends. It was our first sew day after 2 years. And it's an offshoot of the Libs Elliott class I took called Embrace the Chaos. I talked to her after the class and asked her if I could do a modified version of her class with my sewing friends. And it was really helpful because it took some of the decision making out of our sewing. So it kind of helped loosen everybody up back at their first sew day. It was really awkward and fun and great. And I used some of these vintage pieces with the wolf and the wolves and the owls, and I love them. And some people in the group, we all used a little bit of the striped fabric. I love it. It symbolizes just quilt friends for me.
Thank you, Sarah. Erin is next.
Hi, everybody. So for those of you who may not know me, I have twins, and they have the unfortunate birthday of Christmas Day. And so they have to share it not only with themselves, but with Christmas. And so to make up for that, I make them a quilt every year. So when they graduate and get out of my house, they'll have a stack of 18 quilts. So this is Malcolm's 9th birthday quilt. He is obsessed with camouflage. And so I picked out camouflage and his favorite color of orange. And this is the Cabin Peaks quilt pattern.
Lovely. That is a lot of quilts for them to have. That's a great idea.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Anne, for leading show and tell, and thank you to everybody who showed their quilts this month. Just to wrap up, a summary of important dates. The next meeting is on December 9th, so in 2 weeks. and that is with Deborah Beauchert. We have a workshop coming up with Deborah that still has spots available on December 10th at 10 a.m. The Organic Shapes workshop, I believe, is sold out unless Erin knows otherwise. I don't know why it still says spots available, but that's on the 21st. Charity Quilts is on the 20th. Our Quandee small group is going to be switching to a Friday during the month, and the exact date is going to be announced. Our Queer Quilters small group is November 24th. Block of the Month small group is December 3rd. We have a DEIA committee meeting on December 8th. Our Sunday small group is November 21st. Quilter Filter is November 4th. The Block of the Month small group is December 2nd. I think I have that on there twice. And the DEIA education event is January 12th. So thank you everybody for attending tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you.